So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to discuss the Hindu analysis of 24th May. So I hope you all are aware that we have changed the timings of the Hindu analysis. Earlier it used to happen at 3 p.m. but now it will be happening at 8 p.m. right? So it is generally taken by Govind sir, but on Saturday I take the class. So let us begin with today's class. So if I'm audible, visible, everything is fine, please write yes in the comments so that we can begin with the class. Am I audible? Okay, so let us begin with today's class. Today is Saturday, 24th May, and here is actually the article, the first page of the Hindu newspaper. Yes, good evening. It's audible. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So the first article talks about Northeast. Any matlab Northeast hai? Okay, Northeast to be gateway for trade with Southeast Asia, says PM Modi. So he had actually was speaking at Rising Northeast Summit. So we will discuss about this. Then, of course, this one, India to push watchdog FATF to put Pakistan back on its grey list. So these two articles we will be discussing. Both are very, very important. So first of all, let us begin with the main article. So any matlab in Northeast, है ना? And he's talking about that it will be a gateway for trade with Southeast Asia. Okay. And recently this Northeast Summit, Rising Northeast Summit happened. है ना? And he said that North is not a frontier but a front runner of growth. Frontier मतलब होता है border की sense में ना. मतलब पहले क्या समझाता था कि North East जो है ये bordering area में, but now he's saying that no, it is not a frontier, it's a front runner of growth. यानी काफी ahead है. मतलब कहने का मतलब है it is moving towards the path of growth. That is what the idea is. ठीक है. So India's Northeast is not a frontier region anymore. It is a front runner of growth, says PM Modi. On Friday, pitching for investment in the 8 states that constitute the region. देखो 8 states क्यों कहा जा रहा है? तो 7 sister states, ये तो 7 state है ना, 7 states प्लस एक और ले लिया गया यहाँ पर सिक्किम. I think that is what he is referring to. So 8 states. ठीक है. हाँ. So there is a need to attract investment in this region. अच्छा, can you please tell me the reason why Northeast is not comparatively that much developed as compared to the rest of India? रीजन क्या है? मतलब it should have been more developed as compared to the current region. कोई बता सकता है? I'll be very happy to know. I'll understand. I can understand that yes, you understand the concepts. आपका concept clear है? Anyone? The first reason is ये पूरा region पहाड़ी area. If you have read geography, these all are rough terrain areas. Yes. Okay. So rough terrain areas है तो movement connectivity. हाँ. Yes. Very good, Krishi Sachdeva. You're right. Another reason is the rest of the country. It is actually there is chicken neck corridor. So it is connected to the country, rest of the country by a very small narrow passage. So सबसे important problem क्या? Connectivity issue. So one is एक तो chicken neck की वजह से पतला सा रास्ता है. The second reason is even if you make it, there are so rough terrains that making roads and railway connectivity is very difficult. क्योंकि इतनी पहाड़ी एरिया है, पतला सा रास्ता है, पहाड़ी एरिया है, तो वहाँ पे roads और railway connectivity बनाना थोड़ा मुश्किल है. Okay, so that is one reason perhaps कि उतना integration या उतना development शायद नहीं हो पाया जितना होना चाहिए था ना. That is what is being talked about. So inaugurating the Rising Northeast Summit in Delhi, he said that the region offers a wide range of economic and industrial opportunities. India has new dreams for Northeast. He said, adding that a region should emerge as a gateway for trade with South Asia over the next decades. Southeast Asia. तो अब आपको पता होगा this region is called as Southeast Asia, right? And I hope you are also aware that here there is actually this is Northeast. So अगर इंडिया को अगर ट्रेड करना साउथ ईस्ट एशिया से, so this is actually one of the best way, है ना? That is why it is called as gateway. And in fact, there are a lot of cross-border relationship also, है ना? The people of Myanmar and Northeast have actually a lot of people actually are belonging to the same let's say tribe, race, etc. and all. So that is what. So there is a chance that if we want to improve the relationship with Southeast Asia, or if we want to have more trade, better trade with Southeast Asia, we can use Northeast India. And I hope you are aware of that. That is what is being talked about. Yeah, अच्छा यहाँ पर एक आई होप आपने ये नाम सुना होगा, इसको कहते हैं कालादान मल्टी मोडल प्रोजेक्ट. यू नो दिस? If you are not knowing, please go and search about it. From Kolkata, you can get to the Sitwe port in Myanmar. From here, Kaladhan to you'll reach northeast. एक और है IMT, India Myanmar Thailand Trilateral Highway, which starts from Manipur, goes to Myanmar and Mysore in Thailand. इसको कहते हैं IMT, India Myanmar Thailand Trilateral Highway. Please read about it. ठीक है. दूसरा कालादान मल्टी मोडल प्रोजेक्ट, इसको मैं बता दे रहा हूँ. इंडिया म्यांमार थाईलैंड ट्राइलैटरल प्रोजेक्ट, ट्राइलैटरल हाईवे. प्लीज रीड. ओके, तो ये तीनों पढ़िए, दोनों पढ़िए. दिस इज एक्चुअली हाउ द बेस्ट एग्जांपल. दीज आर द प्लान्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स, these are being executed. These are the best example of how northeast can be gateway to southeast Asia. किस तरह हम लोग नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया को यूज कर सकते हैं, मतलब साउथ ईस्ट एशिया से रिलेशनशिप इंप्रूव करने में, कनेक्टिविटी इंप्रूव करने में. These are the best examples. ठीक है, so यही इसी की बात हो रही है. ठीक है, this comes even at the backdrop 7th May DGFT to close land ports with Bangladesh etc. and officials have said that this will provide northeastern level trade to develop commercial potential gains. है ना. इस कॉन्सेप्ट में ये वही IMT बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जा रहा है. एक IMT और कालादान मल्टी मॉडल प्रोजेक्ट, कालादान मल्टी मॉडल प्रोजेक्ट, इसको पढ़िएगा, है ना. प्लीज रीड फ्रॉम विकिपीडिया. अगर हमको मौका मिलेगा तो किसी क्लास में आई विल डिस्कस अबाउट दैट. ठीक है, है ना. He listed bioeconomy, bamboo, tea production, petroleum, sports, ecotourism, etc. North is the powerhouse of energy. And he described the region as Astha Lakshmi, or the 8 forms of goddess Lakshmi. So that is what he has actually talked about. है ना. Northeast will be a strong bridge to the trade with Southeast Asia. वही बात हो रही है कि Southeast Asia से ट्रेड करने के लिए जो बेस्ट रास्ता है वो नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया से होकर के. ठीक है. Now I have one question. देखो, राइजिंग नॉर्थ ईस्ट इन्वेस्टर समिट हुआ था रिसेंटली. देखो यही सिक्के मेरा 8 स्टेट बता रहे हैं ना. सो 7 सिस्टर और प्लस सिक्किम. दिस इज शोन इन द मैप. So this was organized by donor ministry, development of northeast region. This is a separate ministry. Please tell me who is the minister. Bio economy, someone is asking. Bio plus economy. Bio मतलब life. Use of microorganisms, biodiesel, pesticides, the lot of things that are used, है ना. Biopesticides, है ना. Any plants, dead plants use करना, biodiesel. ये किससे बनता है? This is made through jatropha या कोई भी ऐसे maize, sugar cane से बनता है. That is the idea about bio can be. ठीक है. Mr. Kiren Rijiju was earlier the donor minister, but right now the donor minister is Mr. Jyotiraditya Scindia. ठीक है. तो ये पता होना चाहिए, बिकॉज इफ यू सी द PYQ ऑफ CLAT, तो अगर आप 2021 में जाओगे CLAT में, they had asked question about ministers and ministry. They had asked about ministers and ministry, right? तो ये आप लोगों को पता होना चाहिए कि of course ministers becomes important, especially if something is in the news. इसको कहते हैं donor ministry, है ना. डेवलपमेंट ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन, there is a separate ministry for that, है ना. The next one is India to push watchdog FATF to put Pakistan back on grey list. So I hope you all are aware of this. Please tell me where it is headquartered. Financial Action Task Force, where it is headquartered, when it was formed, and which grouping is responsible for making this. There are 2 lists, 2 prominent lists. One is grey list and black list. So Pakistan was earlier in the grey list, but it has been removed. I checked it. So it is not there right now. So and blacklist में कौन सी countries है? हाँ, headquarters in Paris, formed in 1989 if I'm not wrong. And grouping, कौन से grouping के लिए सर ने बनाया? Which grouping was responsible for making this FATF? IMF, not IMF. G7. Please remember it. This is very 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 important. FATF अक्सर न्यूज में रहता है, so आपको एकदम पता होना चाहिए. ठीक है. India will take up terror funding charges against Pakistan to ensure to make a case so that Pakistan should be put back into the grey list in FATF because of terror, money laundering and terror financing, etc. So that is what you should know. We will take up this matter to the FATF. Working as under progress to prepare for it, said the government sources. देख सकते हो 1989, 40 members, English, England and France is the language, है ना. हेडक्वार्टर पूछ सकते हैं, लैंग्वेज हो सकता नहीं पूछे, बट ये पूछ सकते हैं हेडक्वार्टर्स इन पेरिस, है ना. and was founded by G7 कहीं लिखा होगा, हाँ G7 countries. So these are the important things. This is to fight money laundering and terror financing. That is what the idea is. ठीक है, so ये सब टर्म एकदम याद रखिएगा. This is very very important because FATF has been very much in the news. So maybe they can give you a passage on FATF. ठीक है, so आपको पता होना चाहिए. So blacklist में कौन कौन country, please tell me which countries are there in the blacklist. बताओ. Blacklist में there are 3 countries. I have given you hint. देखो ग्रे लिस्ट में बहुत सारी कंट्री है. करंटली पाकिस्तान इज नॉट देयर. अर्लियर इट वाज, बट ग्रे लिस्ट नहीं याद रख सकते हो. इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल बिकॉज़ सो मेनी कंट्रीज आर देयर. बट ब्लैक लिस्ट में 3 कंट्रीज एंड दैट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर. ब्लैक लिस्ट में देयर विल बी मोर स्ट्रिंजेंट एक्शन, है ना. ग्रे लिस्ट में कंपैरेटिवली लेसर स्ट्रिंजेंट एक्शन वुड बी देयर. सो द राइट आंसर इज डेमोक्रेटिक पीपल्स रिपब्लिक ऑफ कोरिया, व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज नॉर्थ कोरिया फेमसली. देन ईरान एंड म्यांमार. सो देखो रशिया भी नहीं है. अर्लियर इट वाज, आई थिंक कुछ साल पहले था. ठीक है, सो आप याद रखना that Iran, Myanmar and North Korea is there in blacklist. Okay, try to remember it. Hi. First page there was an article, hailstorm hit Indigo flight, denied permission to use Pakistani airspace. देखो actually क्या हुआ था कि this flight was going from New Delhi to Srinagar. तो ऐसे कुछ जा रही थी somewhere, ऐसे कुछ होगा roughly ऐसे, है ना. So somewhere here बता, जैसा मैंने आर्टिकल पढ़ा कि when Indigo was going this air traffic control in Pakistan denied pilots permission to escape the bad weather. Request permission to divert the aircraft towards the international border was not approved by the IAF also. तो जैसा रिपोर्ट आ रही है उसमें कि पाकिस्तानी एयर स्पेस जो लाहौर मतलब मोस्ट लाइकली होगा, वहां से परमिशन लिया होगा कि यहाँ जाके लैंड करा दें, समथिंग लाइक दैट, बिकॉज देयर वेर व्हाट वी कॉल इट एज the temperature was temperature कह रहे हैं, the weather was not very good for planes, है ना. And it has become, ये जो आगे भी देख रहे हो, it became the victim of lightning also. ठीक है, लेकिन एक चीज और पता चाहिए, I read at different places, तो एरोप्लेन को ऐसे बनाया जाता है कि अगर उस पर लाइटनिंग हिट करेगा तो सरवाइव कर सकता है, and that is why it survived, है ना, with God's grace of course. But इतना मतलब हाँ उसको बहुत अच्छे से बनाया जाता है. I mean of course so that even if the worst case scenario, the lightning strikes the aeroplane, it can still land properly, है ना. Okay, now so that is one thing. The second thing is इसमें ये लिखा है कि a request for permission to divert the aircraft towards the international border was also not approved by IAF. So Indian Air Force ने भी permission नहीं दी कि आप उधर जाइए. That is what DGCA said. Okay, I don't know exactly, इतना डिटेल नहीं पता, लेकिन इसमें जो लिखा हुआ यही है कि फिर उसको इंडियन एयरफोर्स के सोर्सेज ने क्लैरिफाई किया दैट नॉर्दर्न एरिया कंट्रोल सेंटर मैनेज्ड बाय आईएएफ इज नॉट ऑथराइज्ड टू परमिट इंडियन एयरक्राफ्ट टू एंटर इंटरनेशनल स्पेस. तो लोगों ने कहा कि जो एनएसीसी है वो परमिशन नहीं दे सकती है उधर जाने के लिए. खैर जो भी रीजन होगा, वी आर नॉट गोइंग इन दैट डिटेल, वी डोंट नो एग्जैक्टली उसमें क्या क्या चीजें, है ना. बट यहाँ पर एक चीज इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाती है, वो एक कन्वेंशन. ठीक है, विल नॉट बी गोइंग इन दैट डिटेल कि हु वाज राइट हु वाज रॉन्ग, इन व्हिच एयरपोर्ट इट वाज अलाउड और नॉट एंड ऑल. There is a very famous convention which becomes important here. This convention talks about allowing civilian plane to land in your territory of any other country if there is a crisis or if the pilot faces the emergency. What is that convention? A very famous convention. अगर किसी भी मुल्क की एरोप्लेन आपके एयर स्पेस से जा रही है और अगर वो सिविलियन एयरक्राफ्ट, ऑफ कोर्स वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट सिविलियन नॉट मिलिट्री, और अगर वो रिक्वेस्ट रेज कर रहा है उसके पायलट एटीसी से कि आप जो है हमको स्पेस दीजिए लैंड करने का, तो आप इन जनरल मना नहीं कर सकते. विच इज अ वेरी फेमस कन्वेंशन दैट बिकम्स इंपॉर्टेंट, इट्स कॉल्ड एज शिकागो कन्वेंशन. ठीक है, इंटरनेशनल कन्वेंशन ऑन सिविल एविएशन. आईसीएओ का हेडक्वार्टर भी है वहीं है, मॉन्ट्रियल, आई थिंक शिकागो, है ना. ICAO headquarters, I think Montreal, Canada में. Just remember about it. So ICAO was also formed as a result of Chicago Convention, and almost all the countries except Liechtenstein is the member. ठीक है. So that is what you should know. इसमें होता ये है कि if any other country's plane is moving and if it is raising the concern, you have to help. ठीक है, अगर आपको उनसे पर्सनल रिलेशन अच्छा नहीं है तो भी. Okay, that is what you should know. मतलब that happens generally speaking. जैसे for example, I give you an example. देखो ये पुरानी न्यूज़ है. Like SpiceJet bound aeroplane lands in Karachi. उस टाइम पर आई मीन देयर वर लेसर फ्रिक्शन, सो परहैप्स दे माइट हैव अलाउड, सो जैसे मान लो 2-3 साल पहले की दिल्ली से दुबई जा रही होगी, बीच में कुछ इशू हो गया होगा तो कराची में परमिशन दे दिएगा लैंड करने की. सो दिस हैपेंस इवन ऑफ कोर्स if any other country's plane is also moving, it's a civilian plane, then in that case they are every country, suppose those whosoever is signatory, almost all the countries are signatory, they should help other countries land the plane. ठीक है, तो ये शिकागो कन्वेंशन याद रखिएगा, थोड़ा सा इसके बारे में पढ़िएगा, ICAO के बारे में. दैट इज व्हाट द आइडिया इज. ओके, अभी जो न्यूज में था वो कि इंडिया पाकिस्तान एक्सटेंड्स एयर स्पेस क्लोजर, अभी तो चूंकि देयर आर फ्रिक्शंस हैपनिंग, आई होप यू ऑल आर अवेयर, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे हैव क्लोज्ड द एयर स्पेस फॉर ईच अदर. Indian Space Tashkent Treaty. Tashkent Treaty, I need to check. Tanmay Singh, I'm not sure about that. ठीक है, ठीक है. So no time वगैरह इशू कर दिए गए, इसको थोड़ा सा पढ़िएगा. That is what you should know. But generally it is allowed. हाँ, उस ताशकेंट ट्रीटी में एयर स्पेस से रिलेटेड बात थी. I'm not sure about that. Trump threatens European Union with 50% tariff and fresh trade showdown. I hope you are aware that when Donald Trump came to power, he is actually imposing tariff, etc., or threatening to impose tariff at different countries. Even that if you make, even is saying to the Apple that if you make Apple manufacture Apple anywhere else, I will impose tariff, etc., etc. Especially India हो सकता है इससे impact पड़े, because we are having iPhone are being assembled in India, and of course if this decision gets changes, then maybe we'll have to suffer. हो सकता है employment etc. पे असर पड़े. So let us see. Now European Union को भी Donald Trump ने कहा I will impose the taxes, tariff, etc. He has threatened. I mean whether he will impose or not is to be seen. ठीक है. So it is a 27-member grouping. I hope you all are aware. I have made a separate detailed video about European Union. You have to just search this EU career launcher, you will get it. So we have explained in detail about European Union. Okay, go and watch it. Now let's talk about this editorial. A medical oxygen gap in Southeast Asia must bridge. Now this is written by Saima Wazid. Who is Saima Wazid? She is actually daughter of, you know, Saima Wazid कौन है? Saima Wazid. She is daughter of, बताओ, Sheikh Hasina, who was the Prime Minister of Bangladesh till August last year. Okay. And she is the chief of WHO Southeast Asia region. Okay. देखो मैं दिखाता हूँ. देखो, we are actually here in India. This region is called as South Asia. पहले मैं बता देता हूँ because these are very much asked in exam also. इस region को कहते हैं West Asia. I hope you are aware, है ना? West Asia भी कहते हैं, Middle East भी कहते हैं. This region is called as Central Asia. And this region, China, South Korea, Japan, इसको कहते हैं East Asia. Even Russia का भी कुछ हिस्सा है तो East Asia. And this region is called as Southeast Asia. Logic से ही समझ जाओगे? So when we read about when we read geography or any other place, international relation, this is how you should know the concept. You should know it. These are very important. ठीक है? लेकिन for the sake of WHO, Southeast Asia किसको कहते हैं? WHO has 6 regions. They have defined it 6 regions. ठीक है? ये 6 region आपके सामने with different color. But according to WHO, they have defined this as Southeast Asia. But अब लोगों ने India, Bangladesh, they have added it in Southeast Asia. Okay, is it clear? Generally Southeast Asia क्या होता है? Generally जो है Southeast Asia इसको कहते हैं geography में. But the blue one is Southeast Asia according to WHO. ये इनका अपना standard है, ठीक है? So please do not ask ऐसे क्यों कर दिया. But generally India and Bangladesh, they are not part of Southeast Asia. Okay, so these are the 6 regions which you can see in the color, different colors. So Southeast Asia WHO की जो regional director है, उनका नाम है Saima Wazid. Is it clear? Because the entire director general is Tedros Adhanom. आपने नाम सुना होगा. He is the director general of entire WHO, है ना? ये regional director कहलाती है. Regional director में 6 region में एक region की director. You got it? So she has written a book. She has written an article talking about medical oxygen. ठीक है? तो कॉन्सेप्ट्स बताओ जी, पूरा आर्टिकल रीड करने का नो नीड फॉर दैट. Oxygen, I hope you are aware when we had seen 2021 second wave COVID lockdown etc. We had seen this medical emergency crisis. I hope you all are aware of that. So that is what is being talked about, है ना. Oxygen is a life-saving essential medicine with no substitute. And इसका कोई और रास्ता नहीं है, of course. Because of the complexity of industrial production, there are many challenges, etc. तो उसी पर लिख रही है क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम है, challenges हैं, shorting, कभी short कर जाता है. COVID-19 pandemic exposed the vulnerabilities, especially in low and middle income countries, है ना, in oxygen infrastructure. जो rich country है उनके पास पैसा है, फटाफट बना लेंगे, लेकिन जो low and middle income countries हैं उनके लिए मुश्किल हो जाता है ना. They are very difficult, and of course the people cannot afford if the things goes costly. ठीक है, that is also what is being talked about here. ठीक है. अच्छा, इस साल WHO, since we are talking about it, what was the theme of World Health Day? Please tell me. WHO was established on 7th April 1948, and that is why 7th April is celebrated as World Health Day. So what was the theme this year? Please tell me. Anyone? Theme of World Health Day. Healthy beginnings, hopeful future. Why I'm saying, आप 2021 CLAT का पेपर उठा के देखो. They had asked about. There are two places they had asked about days and themes. दो ऐसी जगह पे थी जहां पर उन्होंने days और themes की बात की थी. ठीक है? That is what you should know. Yes, Krishi Sachdeva, Adrija, you both are right. हाँ, ठीक है. Okay, so that is what she is talking about. She is quoting Lancet Global Health Survey, etc. अब इसमें detailed percentage सब नहीं याद रखना है. बट आपको एक रफ आइडिया होना चाहिए. अब ये थोड़ी पूछेंगे कितने परसेंट हॉस्पिटल में शॉर्टकमिंग्स है इक्विपमेंट्स की, नॉट, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू आस्क दीस थिंग्स. ठीक है, इसीलिए आपको एक बस रफ आइडिया होना चाहिए. दैट इज मोर देन इनफ. इसमें अगर कोई WHO साउथ ईस्ट एशिया, अगेन जब ये साउथ ईस्ट एशिया की बात करें इन कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ WHO, यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट इंक्लूड्स इंडिया आल्सो. Otherwise, generally speaking, Southeast Asia is, I mean, India is not a part of Southeast Asia. But in context of WHO region, of course, that is a part of it, है ना. इसीलिए वो इंडिया की बात करें, इंडिया सेंट्रिक भी, तो शी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट, है ना. इनोवेशन सच एज पोर्टेबल ऑक्सीजन की बात कर रही है ना, कि पोर्टेबल मतलब जो आसानी से एक जगह से दूसरी जगह मूव किया जा सके. कंसंट्रेटर, सोलर पावर जनरेटर्स, बूस्टर्स एटसेट्रा, है ना, कि सोलर एनर्जी से जनरेट किया जाए एटसेट्रा. सो दीस आर द थिंग्स शी इज एक्चुअली टॉकिंग अबाउट. नाउ एक साइड में आर्टिकल थी, इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट द किलिंग ऑफ अ CPI माओइस्ट लीडर. देखो और से देखना, if it is written CPI Marxist, this is a political party which fights election also. And CPI Maoist is a banned organization under UAPA. Okay, so ये banned organization है. Okay, तो नाम सिमिलर टाइप का था, कंफ्यूजन होने का डर रहता है. That's why I'm saying it clearly. CPI Maoist is a banned organization because they have taken the weapon instead of fighting elections. So of course, when you take the weapons, of course you will be crushed. So General Secretary of CPI Maoist was killed, etc. So that is his name. Just remember it. It is the biggest blow to the insurgency, etc. and all. है ना? That is what is being talked about. अच्छा, एक concept होता है red corridor. इस region में we had seen actually the most red corridor ऐसे term कहा जा सकता है. This is the place where actually mostly the Naxalites are there. So the southern portion of Chhattisgarh, जो बस्तर district है, very much affected. बस्तर region, उसमें दांतीवाड़ा etc. आएगा. फिर कुछ some portion of Odisha and I think some portion of Maharashtra also. This is called as red corridor. These are the terms used. Officially, like in the newspaper, you see the word Naxalism or Maoism. This term is used, but the government of India does not use this word. The word officially used is LWE. ये word use किया था officially. Means left wing extremism. ठीक है? ये आपको बताना चाहिए. Yes, हाँ, most affected area by Naxalism, red corridor. Right, Krishi Sachdeva. ठीक है, so एक रफ आइडिया होना चाहिए. That is what you should be knowing it. So Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah has said that he will eliminate Maoism by 2026. These are the things being talked about here, है ना. इसमें और डिटेल कुछ है. They are fighting guerrilla warfare. इसमें और कुछ नहीं जाना डिटेल में. No need to go in detail. Now let's talk about this introspecting counter-terrorism after Operation Sindoor. So that is what he is talking about, है ना. अच्छा, Operation Sindoor से related, I have taken 2 class. Naxalism is taken from the word Naxalbari, right? Krishi Sachdeva, right? So I have taken 2 classes. First of all, please subscribe to the channel. Go to the live section. इसके नीचे जाना. I have taken 2 classes. One on INS Vikrant, another on this S-400 Rafale jets. These 2 are actually based on Operation Sindoor, and it's important. So please go and watch both the classes if you have not attended it. इसमें मैंने सारे military ranks भी बताए. and military ranks are now very important. Like what is DGMO, Director General Military Operation, Air Operation, Naval Operation, इस class में. And इस class में I have discussed all the weapons which were in the news that were used. In fact, CLAT 2020 में they had asked question on Rafale jets also. So still it was in the news, and of course they can be asked again. ये दोनों देख लीजिएगा. So that is what is being talked about. So he's talking about this. कि after introspecting counterterrorism after Operation Sindoor, से बता रहे हैं कि पहलगाम terrorist attack happened, etc. Then Operation Sindoor happened. Okay. इसमें कोई specific चीज है? Which I'm what? हाँ. Please tell me. Please talk. We had seen actually we had done Balakot strike. In the past. What was the name of the operation? ये पूछ सकते हैं. Why I'm telling you this? Because see what happens is कि the Operation Sindoor is in the news, so everyone knows. तो कुछ और भी पूछते हैं कभी-कभी. Past में जाके पूछते हैं, ठीक है? जैसे गांधी when तो मैं बताता हूँ 2021 में बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन आया था. In CLAT 2021 they had asked question on Gandhi Peace Prize. तो मालूम उसने क्या उन्होंने पूछा था फर्स्ट किसको मिला, इसरो को कब मिला गांधी पीस प्राइज. So they go in the past. Whatever things are in the news, they go in the past also. अच्छा न्यूज़पेपर में आ रहा था बालाकोट स्ट्राइक, सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक, तो बालाकोट स्ट्राइक ऑपरेशन का नाम क्या था? यस, वेरी गुड हर्ष शर्मा, ऑपरेशन बंदर, वेरी गुड. सो यही मैं बताना चाह रहा हूँ कि आपको अब ऐसे ही पढ़ना होगा, ठीक है? वो चाहते क्या है कि आप अंदर डिटेल में जाओ. देखो 21 जून 2019 का ना कोर्ट नेम ऑफ बालाकोट स्ट्राइक. So these are the things you should know. They expect you to go for one step ahead because Operation Sindoor नहीं नाम पूछेंगे, बहुत कम चांस है कि पूछेंगे what was the name of the operation. और अगर पूछ भी दिए तो 99% बच्चे तो मार्क कर देंगे उसको. तो आपको एज कैसे मिलेगा? How will you get the edge? It's a competition. So competition means you have to beat the others, है ना? So you have to read something extra, है ना? That is the idea. Fine. So I was talking about it. इसमें हो गया, इसमें I think इसमें बहुत कुछ खास मतलब लर्न करने के लिए जो टर्म था वो मैंने बता दिया आपको, ठीक है? The next is permanent damage. ये आर्टिकल थी जिसमें डोनाल्ड ट्रंप has actually recently decided to block Harvard University from international student. Of course ये तो बहुत सीरियस बात है, बहुत काफी ज्यादा न्यूज में था. Harvard University is in America, Massachusetts में. मैं आपको मैप में दिखाता हूँ पहले. It is India, this is US. यहाँ पर अगर आपको न्यूयॉर्क मिलेगा, न्यूयॉर्क से थोड़ा सा ऊपर यहाँ पर एक जगह मैसाचुसेट्स. आपने नाम सुना होगा, यहाँ पर एक इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज है, मैसाचुसेट्स इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. This is the world's topmost engineering college. तो ये मैसाचुसेट्स सिटी में you will find Harvard, ठीक है? Harvard University, and of course it hosts international students, है ना भाई? तो इतना बड़ा इंटरनेशनल लेवल का यूनिवर्सिटी है तो सारे जगह से लोग आते होंगे, लेकिन अभी ये सब बात आ गई. खैर अभी रिपोर्ट आ रही थी कि यूएस जज ने इसको ब्लॉक भी कर दिया. US federal judge has temporarily restrained the Donald Trump from revoking Harvard's ability to enroll international students. खैर अभी देखो क्या होता है. Let us see what will happen. ठीक है, further. Because it was in the news. The Department of Homeland Security told Harvard that students exchange visitor program certificate has been revoked. And SEVP कहते हैं कि exchange होता है ना, दूसरे कंट्री से student exchange program होता है, तो उसको revoke कर दिया गया, नहीं suspend कर दिया गया मतलब उस चीज को. That was in the news. खैर तो इसी की बात कर रहे हैं इसमें एडिटोरियल में. is intend to damage oldest wealthiest educational institution. तो ये सब लिख रहे हैं एडिटोरियल में कि Donald Trump is damaging his own institution, the most famous institution, Harvard institution. ठीक है, तो ये सब है. इसमें nothing to explain much, मतलब इतना डिटेल जाने की जरूरत नहीं है हार्वर्ड के बारे में, जस्ट पता होना चाहिए. I don't think. हाँ. Let's move on to the another article. Supreme Court needs to change from being a Chief Justice centric court. I hope you are aware. Recently, yesterday, I think Justice A.S. Oka this was his last working day. Justice Abhay Srinivas Oka, and he retired. And he has said nobody controls the judge except the Constitution, the law in question, and one's own conscience. अच्छा बताओ, what is the procedure of appointment of Supreme Court judge? कोई बता सकता है 2-3 लाइन में कमेंट्स में? रिटायरमेंट तो पता होगा, they all retire at the age of 65 years for Supreme Court judges, 62 years for High Court judges. Anyone? Collegium system. Yes, I have taken a class on collegium system, but I want to know. थोड़ा सा बताओ Look, I have taken this class. Please tell me a little bit about it. If someone wants to become a Supreme Court judge, recommendation from Collegium. Yes, how many members are there? देखो पहले तो if someone wants to become a judge, Article 124 talks about eligibility. कुछ eligibility है कि आपको 5-year high court judge होना चाहिए, 10-year lawyer होना चाहिए, citizen of India होना चाहिए, etc. etc. ठीक है. Now, how the appointment happen? अच्छा, आप ये बताओ. Dash appoints Supreme Court judge. ये लिखा हुआ है. Then what should be the answer? क्या आंसर होगा? Dash appoints Supreme Court judge. What should be the answer? President. President appoints Supreme Court judge on the advice, on the recommendation of Collegium, comprising of, yes, very good, Krishi Sajjava, you have written 5 judges, senior most judges of Supreme Court, 1 CJI plus 4 senior most judges. ठीक है. इस क्लास में मैंने पूरा डिटेल बताया है. Why I'm saying it? Because Collegium is very important. Appointment of judges अक्सर न्यूज में आता है. ठीक है. हाई कोर्ट का जजेस का अपॉइंटमेंट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजेस का अपॉइंटमेंट, फर्स्ट जजेस केस, सेकंड जजेस केस, थर्ड जजेस केस, है ना, फर्स्ट, सेकंड एंड थर्ड जजेस केस, इवन फोर्थ जजेस केस, है ना, स्ट्रक डाउन एंड जैक. ये चारों जजेस केस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वी हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स इन द न्यूज. देखो न्यूज़पेपर में अक्सर आता है कॉलेजियम कि कॉलेजियम रिकमेंड्स दिस, कॉलेजियम रिकमेंड्स ट्रांसफर, है ना. इसलिए हाँ, recently we have seen the transfer of a Delhi High Court judge, है ना, to the Allahabad High Court when there was some allegation against him, etc. तो वो सारी चीजें it becomes important here. ठीक है. ट्रांसफर ऑफ हाई कोर्ट जजेस सब यहाँ डिस्कस किया मैंने, ट्रांसफर वगैरह सब डिस्कस किया. और रिमूवल के लिए एक मैंने वीडियो बनाया है, आप जाके यूट्यूब पे सर्च करना, रिमूवल ऑफ एससी जज करियर लॉन्चर, ऐसे सर्च करना, you will get a video, because removal of SC judge and high court judge are exactly same, है ना. And recently, since there was some news regarding a Delhi High Court judge, that is why this topic even becomes important. तो ये वाला भी जाके देख लीजिएगा. ठीक है. हाँ, judge high court judge is appointed by 3-member collegium, right? Krishi Sajjava, very good. खैर, ये वाला तो important नहीं. Let's move on further. I was talking about this one, है ना. Yunus Mulls मतलब होता है कि सोच रहे, is thinking of resigning. ठीक है ना. Says reports, cabinet member says otherwise. Means there are reports that he might resign. He's a chief, even he's not a prime minister. He's actually a chief advisor of the government. So ideally, the scenario is, of course, let's say we had discussed it in this class. ये वाली class में मैंने बताया था that last year August, Sheikh Hasina had to resign. She came back to India. She came to India and she's there, and because there were protests, etc. and all. है ना. So from here she came to India. Now, so Mohammad Yunus became actually the chief advisor. So he's not an elected person, first of all. So there needs to be an election that needs to be conducted. Election zaruri hai na. So of course there have been demand. Of course, since it is a democratic country, so to prove that it is a democratic country, you of course you need to conduct an election. Hai na. So Bangladesh interim government chief Mohammad Yunus is willing to resign, etc. But there are reports his cabinet minister said कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. So whatever it was in the news, but अब इस केस में 2-3 चीजें important हो जाती है. What becomes important? So important is Mohammad Yunus had won Nobel Prize. When? What was the protest? आप पूछ रहे कृषि सचदेवा, I have discussed in this class. ये पूरा class देख लोगे, you will get to know. When Mohammad Yunus got Nobel Prize, what was the protest all about? Who is the army chief? What are the things, etc. तो ये सब concepts इसमें बताया हुआ है. So go and watch it. You will get to learn a lot. Okay, from this class. Now, ये बहुत interesting है. First of all, UK's Chagos Island deal with Mauritius risk entrenching exile of some islanders. पहले ये बताओ, Chagos Island is in which ocean? Chagos Island, उसका एक island है Dioga Garcia, and this is actually US military base also. हाँ, Mohammad Yunus को माइक्रो फाइनेंसिंग के लिए मिला था, राइट? यस. Chagos Island is in Indian Ocean. So where is India? This is Chagos Island. Okay, this is controlled by UK. और उसी ग्रुप ऑफ आइलैंड है, उसमें से एक आइलैंड है डियागो गार्सिया, where you will find Garcia. where you will find US military base. Okay, or Mauritius जो यहाँ पर है, somewhere here is Mauritius. So Mauritius says that this is their part. Mauritius claim करते हैं कि Chagos मेरा island है. Okay, it is in Indian Ocean. ये Indian Ocean है. Let me write it. तो आप देख रहे हो ये, this is Indian Ocean. ठीक है. Okay, so that was the dispute and all. हाँ, acquired by Indian, yes, right. हाँ. तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि now the UK have actually agreed to give it, and a Human Rights Watch said that UK government deal to hand over Chagos could entrench the exile of Chagosian from archipelago's biggest island and all. इसमें नहीं जाना, कल ये देख लो, कल ये देख लेते हैं ना. इसमें क्या डील हुआ है? Welcome UK's decision to hand over the sovereignty of Chagos, including the atoll Diogo Garcia to Mauritius. यानी Chagos और Diogo Garcia, because यहाँ पे US military base है, इसको भी दे देंगे मॉरिशस को. Under the agreement, UK will have full responsibility strategically located, है ना. लेकिन इसमें लिखा है कि एग्रीमेंट में लिखा है कि यूके की फुल रिस्पांसिबिलिटी होगी डियागो गार्सिया की सिक्योरिटी के लिए, है ना. इंडिया ने सपोर्ट किया है मॉरिशस को, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. That in the past, India has supported Mauritius that this is their part. ठीक है. We welcome the signing. The Ministry of External Affairs ने भी कहा कि UK and Mauritius has agreed for that, including Diego Garcia. It's a positive move. That is what Indian government has said, है ना. So इसमें लिखा हुआ है Chagos Island is set to become a former British overseas territory to transfer sovereignty from UK to Mauritius, was signed with the provision that military base at the island would be under British control for the 99 years. तो दे तो देंगे, लेकिन अगले 99 साल तक मिलिट्री बेस मेरे ही कंट्रोल में रहेगा. ठीक है. So it means that of course they will allow US to station their Diogo Garcia military troops, है ना. Right. हाँ. That is what is being talked about, है ना. तो खैर इसीलिए न्यूज में था, and that is why I am discussing it, है ना. इसको थोड़ा पढ़िएगा. The deal was started in autumn last year will see British paying its former colony this much amount, 101 million. This is pound, है ना, जो कि $136 million annually for 99 years to lease the facility. तो 99 साल तक इतना पैसा देते रहेंगे, etc. So these are the things you should be knowing. Now Diogo Garcia, Chagos Island, these becomes very very important. तो आपको पता होना चाहिए. Please read about that. ठीक है. That is what you should know. And what will happen to the military bases at Diogo Garcia? These are the articles that were coming in. ठीक है. तो थोड़ा इसको पढ़िएगा. So this is all about today's class. Please subscribe to the channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.